Hey guys, it's me, Shaw360, and this is just a random discussion video. I know I said I would talk about other stuff than K-pop on my channel, and I totally mean that. In fact, I wanted to talk about socks on a video not that long ago, but then I realized I only had about a minute's worth of sock material to talk about, and that doesn't necessarily make for a good video. But just in case you're wondering, socks. Don't you hate when you have really fat legs and you want to wear like knee-high or boot socks and they don't go up your calf? Why doesn't somebody invent socks for people with fat calves? There, that was my sock rant. But now let's talk about my K-pop rant. My K-pop rant is not really a rant. It's more influenced by something that I listened to, and it made me think about something else, which made me think you need to do a video on this. And it's how K-pop has changed. So tonight I went to, well, not even tonight, today I went to a party and I just got back home tonight. And I was on the way home driving, and it was a 2-hour commute there, 2-hour commute back, and I'm sorry, I have allergies, my nose is itching right now. 2 hours both ways. So I was listening to music in the car, and I bought iKON's newest album, Welcome Back, the full album, not the half. So I decided to listen to it in the car because I needed to do a haul video for my other channel about this album, and I don't like to do haul videos until I've listened to an album. I really try not to do it without having something to say about the music. And so I was listening to the album, and I had a lot of thoughts going in my head about the album and just, kind of how much it sounds like YG and how much it sounds like Big Bang in particular. But as I was thinking about that, I was thinking about, time, how time passes, how K-pop was before, how K-pop is now, how K-pop will be in the future. And it got me thinking about like just trends in K-pop and things that I've noticed that have changed in K-pop that aren't the way they used to be. So I'm just going to name a few things that I've noticed have changed. You can leave your comments down below of things you've noticed have changed, and we'll just talk about it. This is a random discussion video. Like after I upload this to YouTube, I'm going to bed. But one of the things I've noticed that's changed a lot in K-pop is the number of big groups. When I first got into K-pop in 2012, there were like a handful of large groups. And that was the year that EXO debuted. And I remember when EXO debuted, everybody was like, wow, there's a lot of guys in this group. This is kind of strange. This is kind of weird. Like, they had a whole bunch of guys starting out. And yes, Super Junior had existed at that point, but I mean, Super Junior wasn't an anomaly. There weren't a lot of groups like Super Junior at all. So people were like, well, is this going to work? Is this the new Super Junior? What's going on with this? And a lot of people, they operate on revisionist history, so they don't kind of remember how things really were when EXO debuted. But if you recall, EXO debuted the same year as BAP, and there was a big struggle between who should win Rookie of the Year, EXO or BAP. This was a struggle between international fans, because when the Mamas came out that year, do you know who won? Busker Busker. Yeah. But, long story short, it wasn't an automatic like, yes, this big group thing needs to happen and needs to happen today. But fast forward 3 years, and you have a year where Tension is debuting, 17 is debuting. You've got these reality shows, and on these reality shows, they're debuting groups that have 7, 8, 9, 10 members. So, yeah, the big group is here. And on the one hand, I get why the record company does the big group. Because let's say that you're the record company, and you've got 18, 20 trainees at your facility, and you've got 2 really great singers, 2 really awesome dancers, and 3 or 4 guys that are okay dancers and singers, but they're really good looking, and a few of them can act really well, and a couple of them are really great on variety. What do? Throw them all in a group. Why? Because then when you go to market this group, you've got at least one guy to appeal to every member of your target audience. Your good singers can carry the group by maintaining most of the vocal range. Your good dancers are going to be eye-catching when you give your stage performance. And then because you've got these other kind of in-the-middle guys in the group, they help build up the fan base. So then when those guys move on to go into acting and they're going to be in a drama, they've got the cachet of saying, it's such and such from such and such group. There you go. So from a company standpoint, I get why they're doing it, but I have to say, I miss a smaller group. When I think of a smaller group, I think of a group like this. DBSK. I got this from Top Min Kwan. She's great girl. But anyway, I'm thinking about a group like this. You got 5 guys, 5 distinct voices. When they sing as one unit, but at the same time, every single member of this group has to contribute to the song. Nobody can kind of slack. Everybody's got to do their part. But from a record label standpoint, this is a problem, because if you got 3 guys that leave a group like this, you're stuck promoting Homin. And while Homin is still a great group, don't get me wrong, I imagine that SM really was kind of stuck at first. We were like, do we promote the 2? Do we add a member to flush out the sound? And if you look at the way that Homin has been promoted since the breakup, they're not promoted, I won't say as well. They're not promoted as big as they used to be, because SM is thinking, you know what? Time to move our money elsewhere. And I get why they're doing that. I really do get why they're doing that, because then you take a group like EXO and you have 3 guys leave and they still can sell 1 million units. So yeah, why would you continue to invest in this broken machine where you've only got 2 of 5 working parts, when you can have a machine like EXO, and even if you lose a quarter of the members, you can still keep trucking. You can still keep going. So yeah, I miss a smaller group. I do. For sound quality wise, I miss a smaller group. I miss feeling like I'm hearing from everybody in a group. But then there are bigger groups where you do hear from everybody and it's a mess, i.e. Top Dog. So what can you do? Other thing I've noticed that's changed in K-pop, which to me is for the better, I noticed that K-pop doesn't do as many of those one-room videos. I mean, there's still quite a few of them, but then you have spectacular, awesome videos like Run, I Need You, that are outside. You have beautiful videos like Hurt Locker, which yes, it is all hands on deck, the redo, but still, you are getting a lot of like more natural light, more storyline based different videos than you used to get, and I love it. I love it. I think it's a great change for K-pop, because I mean, there was a while there where you were getting sick and tired of seeing that damn box room. And I think I mentioned it just a moment ago, but I think Nine Muses is a great example of that change. They went from, you know, a box room video for drama, which not particularly memorable. The song was amazing, but the video, other than the little suspenders, not much to write home about. Then you go to Hurt Locker, which is gorgeous. It's got great choreography. It's beautiful to look at. It's got neat, interesting scenery. Then you go to Sleepless Night, where they're back in a room, but this time they're injecting quite a bit of storyline into it. So I like to see that evolution in K-pop. I think that's really good that they're starting to do more of that. That's thumbs up on that for K-pop. Another thing I've noticed that's changed a lot in K-pop is the rise of the rapper in K-pop. Now, there's always been rappers in K-pop. Like, I'm not even going to tell that lie and say, oh, this is the first time. No, there's always been rappers in K-pop. I mean, even in a group like this, was rapping. Yuchin was rapping. But now we're getting groups where the rappers are the focus of the group. And that's something that we have not seen in a while. Almost never, like the most rapper focused group we had in old K-pop would probably be BAP and Big Bang. Those were the most rapper focused groups that I can think of. Oh, and Block B, of course. I almost forgot about Block B. Sorry about that, guys. But yeah, those are like the most rap focused group. But now these new groups are coming out and the rappers are the focus. iKON, 17, and Monsta X, rapper focused. That's 3 groups debuting in 1 year that are rapper focused. And they're not the only ones. There's a lot of other ones too. But I mean, that is something that's very different. Also, like the way that rappers are considered in K-pop now is also very different. And I'm glad too, because for a long time, the rapper in a K-pop group was considered the one who can't sing or dance. Now, the rapper of the group, people want to know, was he an underground artist? Does he write his own lyrics? Is he going to be on a competition show? I mean, the rapper of the group now has a way bigger role in the group than they ever had before. And I think it's a really cool change, and I wonder how long that's going to last. I hope it lasts for a while because, like I said, I'm always interested in seeing that creativity and seeing the artists be involved in it. And I think it's a great change to see, but like anything in K-pop, it's kind of a trend, and when the record company decides they don't want to do this anymore, we'll see what happens. But I think the idea of having the artist help to write the music, though, is something that more of the small labels are doing now than ever, because for them, not only is it, neat that you can use that as a marketing agent to say, oh, well, they write their own songs, but also that's one less person you have to pay to create material for your group. Because if you got a group like BTS where you have one maybe major in-house producer, but you've got several lyricists and, sometimes composers and producers in the house, they're creating their own products, so you're not having to pay all these different, European songwriters to write you hits for you to make. And so that's money that you're not having to spend out of your budget. You can take that money, make better videos, do better packaging, maybe put on a couple of more shows. And that is something that I'm loving to see in K-pop. Not saying that groups that don't write their own songs are any worse, because that's not true. I remember back in the older days of K-pop, SM used to get a really bad rap for buying songs from companies for their artists. But, SM also is a publicly traded corporation. And I think that SM's focus has always been exactly like they say, Star Museum, Star Maker. Their focus has always been on finding super talented individuals, or individuals that would probably be, very, very popular and do very well in the industry, and then they find music and stuff to put around these individuals. These individuals are still talented. Like, Baekhyun might not be writing music, but you can't deny his voice. So is he any less talented because he's singing somebody else's song when that's his voice you're hearing? No, I don't think so. So to me, not being able to write your own music and stuff, that doesn't make you a bad artist, but I am glad to see that artists are getting a voice in the way that they're presenting themselves to the world, because there's so little that artists actually can be in charge of in K-pop, that any opportunity they have to express themselves genuinely, I'm here for it. I'm absolutely here for it. So that's why I'm in favor of artists being allowed to write materials. And then the last change I've noticed in K-pop, and this is just me being nitpicky. There's some other stuff I've noticed too, but I'm not going to talk about it right now. But I miss the solo star. Yes, you have Psy. Yes, you have IU. And then you've got other ones that are, a little bit smaller, like Roy Kim and, the like. And then if you've got the rise of the independent solo star like Crush, Zion T, Dean, that ilk. But most of the solos that come out now are solos that are coming out of groups. But there's no figure in K-pop like Rain. And this is all an excuse to talk about Rain. But Rain was a special unicorn in K-pop when he was at his height. Not only was Rain known for being a good singer with very popular songs, but he was also a well-known actor. He did all kinds of CF work. He was known for his overseas projects, and he could go to China, Japan, Korea, and he could sell out shows in all these places, and those shows were just him. One guy on stage, hour and a half. And that's not what's being done now. And just like I was saying, how having a large group of people marketing wise is good for a company, having one guy like Rain is not good for a company, because let's say that you pour all of your money into promoting this one guy, and this guy can do it all. And let's say he's talented enough and popular enough not only for you to promote him as being able to do it all, but he goes out there, he shows and he proves he can do it all, and he becomes wildly successful. When it's time to re-sign your contract with said superstar, how much money are you going to have to pay said superstar to get them to re-sign with you? How much future revenue are you going to have to share with them to get them to continue to stay on your label? How much power do they wield against you when it comes to negotiations? And for a lot of these companies, they don't want to play that game. They want to get in there, get all their money, have the upper hand in every single situation, and they're not willing to risk having one individual with the power to make or break a deal. You know, and I think that on the one hand, I get where they're coming from, but on the other hand, one of the things I love about a star like Rain, and it's something that you can't do now, is he, to me, was like an extremely positive face of K-pop. Now, if you show K-pop to somebody who's not familiar with K-pop, and you show them a group like EXO or a group like BTS, well, the first things people are going to say is, who are these guys? Well, who's that one? Who's that one? There's so many of them, I can't keep up. And it makes K-pop seem very anonymous. You know, it makes it lessens the distinction. But then if you have somebody who knows nothing about K-pop and you show them something like Psy, they might look at K-pop and think K-pop is a joke genre. That, you know, K-pop is about comedy and about fun and about, you know, not taking things seriously, even though Gangnam Style actually had a pretty deep message. But somebody like Rain, who is performing straight-faced, straight-up R&B, dancing his heart out, and is giving you something very comparable to Western music, you can't write a guy off like him as a joke. He's no longer anonymous because it's just one guy. You know his name. You see him throughout the whole video. You have to make a link with this one person. And that's where I feel like somebody like Rain really benefits K-pop, and I feel mournful that we don't have those kind of individuals in K-pop anymore. But I mean, the solos that we're getting out of groups, I think they're doing a great job of picking up that mantle of being that multi-talented performer. I especially love, you know, artists like Guyan from Brown Eyed Girls, Zico from Block B. I feel like they're really pushing the envelope and showing you an individual, and they're able to wield power being such a standout individual even from a group. Like, I do think that Zico kind of wielded his power and he pulled Block B out of their situation and into the current situation they have now with 7th Season. I feel like Guyan, when she pulled herself out of the old label that Brown Eyed Girl was in and pulled her members with her to her new label, I feel like that's her wielding her power. And so I am excited for the solos out of groups, but I would like to see, you know, that one person that we're supposed to take seriously be out there and rep K-pop in that way, instead of, you know, people who aren't familiar with K-pop looking and seeing like, oh, a bunch of cute little dancing boys, oh, a bunch of pretty little dancing girls. Instead of like, look at this artist. He's just like your Usher. He's just like your Justin Timberlake. You know, I would like that. I'd like more of that kind. There's no more sevens either, so yeah. Don't see a lot of that anymore. But this has been my long rant. Sorry, guys. I felt the need to talk. And, you know, my friends don't answer the phone anymore. So you guys are it. I hope you enjoyed. And I will catch you on the drama review for Cheese in the Trap episodes 5 and 6. Cannot wait. Oh my gosh. If you're not watching Cheese in the Trap, I beg you, just give episode 1 a chance. Just give episode 1 a chance. If you don't want to watch it after episode 1, cool, I get it. It's not for everybody, but it is proving to be like so different than any other K-drama I've watched, and I felt genuine fear for characters sometimes. I felt genuine elation for characters sometimes. I've cried real tears for characters sometimes. I've really enjoyed this show, and probably when it's over, it will end up being one of my favorite K-pop dramas of all time. That mantle still belongs to Coffee Prince at this point, but the director of Coffee Prince also directed Cheese in the Trap, so chances are it might get overtaken. But anyway, it's a 20-minute video. Sorry for talking so long, but again, I hope that you enjoyed, and I wish you a great, great day. Talk to you later. Bye.